Hey, you're about to see something you've never seen on this channel before. It involves a weakness, a confession, an attempt to make amends. It involves a lawnmower. So stick with me, and hopefully you can help from this. There is a silver lining. I've learned something that I'll share with you. So hang in there, and I'll tell you all about it in a second. All right, welcome to TWC Projects. So as I let off with, I take really good care of tools and equipment with one exception. I have a fatal flaw for some reason around lawnmowers. I change the oil, I keep them basically cleaned up and looking good and mechanically fine for the most part, but anything that's underneath the deck where the blades are, sometimes I'll put a hose up there, but I rarely do anything with sharpening or dealing with it, and that's a really bad thing. And I honestly wished I had recorded everything that I just did yesterday, but I figured I would catch you up today a little bit. I think I was a little too mortified and humiliated at what I had allowed to happen. But let me show you what's going on. So under my Cub Cadet ZT1 50-inch aero deck, this probably doesn't look too bad to you right now, hopefully, but boy, I'll tell you what, my heart sunk yesterday when I pulled this thing out from underneath the mower, the machine, and it was caked. I mean, it was like caked with mud and crap. This thing is just 2 years old. It's just gone through just 1.5, almost 2 seasons here. And before I moved here, I always had a 1/4 acre, a 1/3 acre lot. I never really had I shouldn't say, I used to do mowing for other people, but I never had to tend to the equipment. So mowing 3 and 4 acres, 2.5 to 4 acres, it's a lot more abusive than you realize. And in the country, it isn't like the nice suburbia grass that I used to have. There's a lot of things that you hit. So embarrassingly, and I've tried to grind these blades. I just went ahead and ordered new blades because even grinding them, I'm going to have a hard time bringing them back to life. But this thing, what was so embarrassing, and what I hope you, there's some silver lining here I'm going to get to. There was rust. I mean, in places I think there was an 1/8 of an inch of rust, and this is about 6 or 7 hours worth of work. I think 4.5 yesterday, 2 today. With a power washer and everything else, and but the rust, I was really concerned. I'm like, there's just no way. Obviously I can't paint over the rust, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to sandblast it or something. I mean, this thing is just destroyed. It will not last 3 more years. I mean, it looked like it was 10 years old. So I happened to be in Tractor Supply today, and I said, you know what, I'm going to try this stuff, this Rust Kutter, and I had some Rust stuff too. I got from Harbor Freight that you soak stuff in it, but I think this stuff worked the best. I just kept spraying and soaking and spraying and soaking, and then eventually taking the wire brush to it. And look at this. I mean, you're seeing bare metal here, and I think that a couple more times around, I can get this thing to the point where I can paint it and bring it back to life, and which would be good because, like I said, I'm pretty embarrassed, and it just was unbelievable how much. I don't know how that kind of mud just kept caking up and grass and stuff. I mean, I've sprayed up under there several times with a hose, but never really got up and looked and saw, and obviously I wasn't doing nearly enough. So if you're like me and you don't pay attention to underneath the carriage of your mower, maybe now's a good time to start, because gosh, it was going to be just, I mean, it looked like it was 10 years old. I mean, I can't tell you what how bad it looked. Like I said, I should have videotaped it. I didn't even think about it. I just really was too embarrassed and mortified. So the good news, though, is this rust stuff seems to help. And if you get down and you really do the work and you scrub it out, and of course you can buy new blades. I sharpened these as best I could, but the new ones should be coming in the mail this week. But I'm going to keep using that rust treatment. I'll take a few more, catch up on a few more clips while I do this. And then, of course, I'll repaint it all, try to get a good coating, 2 or 3 coats at least of good black enamel on there to make it last a little longer. I'm sure the rust I won't get 100% of it, but I'm going to try to do my best. Certainly, like I said, this thing was just I mean, it was just caked everywhere. I can't believe that every place that you see silver right now, that was all rust before. So pretty amazing. You know, I think for whatever this was, $23 or $25 for this Rust Kutter, and you just just spray it and keep soaking and let it do its job, and then in a couple hours you rinse it off. So I started putting it. I put some stuff on this morning, and I put this on probably around noon when I got back, and I've done all this in about 2.5 hours or less. I've been doing other things too, but I've been letting this soak, and then I'll come back to it and check on it. So there's hope. Maybe this one area that I'm pretty bad about mechanically, that I'll get it together and start paying more attention. I know I will, because this was just, I had no idea it would look like that underneath. I'm really, like I said, I wish I had gotten some of it for you, because it's bad, really bad. But no matter how bad it is, there's hope, and you can bring it back to life. There's no need to just give up on it. So hopefully this gives you a little encouragement to try as well. And if you're in this situation, try it out. All right. All right, so I left the spray on for the rest of the week. It's Saturday again now. I think it was Sunday last time I started taping this. And you can see the spray continue to work, and it ate away at most of the rust. I think there's some spots I probably could have sprayed better up top, but everything else, it continued to eat away, and you see there's just this the chemical residue. And so I'm gonna get a wire wheel, I think, and finish sanding this down, get it in nice shape, so that I can prime it and paint it, and put the blades back on and put it back together so we can get back to work today and cut the grass. But just wanted to show you the progress of what that stuff really did, and how it's eaten away at the rust really well. And I'm still amazed. Pretty impressive stuff, so I like it. Coming along pretty well. You know, ideally you'd have some kind of, you know, next time I do this, hopefully I'll have my shop set up, and I'll have a sandblaster and my air tools all running. Right now it's all my tank and everything's packed away in a little shed. But I'll tell you what, for most of you who probably don't have that equipment anyway, or a lot of you probably don't have that equipment, this little guy works pretty well. This is just a you know, wire wheel. Home Depot, Lowe's, Harbor Freight, Northern Tools, whatever. You know, the trick is the faster the speed, the better. So if you have one of these on an air tool, it actually works better, because you can get a faster RPM out of it. But if you're using a drill like I'm trying to do right now, just because I'm just trying to get it done today, put it on high speed and just keep working it. And it, as you can see, I'm getting down to bare metal in most of the places. There might be a little bit here still, and I fully expect probably less than 2 years I'll be doing this again. But next time hopefully I'll have better tools to really strip it all the way down to the bare metal. Right now it's getting pretty good though, considering I use that spray chemical I showed you, and a drill, and a little bit of wire brush, just, you know, scrape with a little bit, but it's going pretty well. Alright, this is less than a minute later from what I just showed you, and you can already see the results of how it's just eating that stuff right away. So I'll show you in an hour or two and see what it looks like. All right, so not perfect, but I think it's pretty good, and it's gonna be good enough. So I'll dry it and clean, make sure it's real clean, and paint it. And we'll see it next. Alright, I think this is as far as I'm going to take this video. It's probably way too long. I've cut it down quite a bit anyway. But I was able to get a couple of coats of paint on there. I'll let it dry overnight, and hopefully tomorrow I'll get one more coat on there, and then put it back together. And I guess in a future video I'll show you. I mean, the lawnmower looks brand new. It was just this undercarriage that I neglected. So I will start doing better. I'll do a lot better with that stuff. Everything else I take good care of for some reason underneath the mower, but I just don't know why. So anyway, if you're like me and you've neglected it too long, you might want to check it out before it's too far gone. And you could try some of the stuff I did, maybe if that helps, to try to get it back in semi-decent shape. I have a feeling this will probably need to be done again in a couple of years, but then hopefully by then I'll have a little bit better equipment. I'll be able to really sandblast it down to bare metal and paint it with a proper paint gun and not a spray can. You know, Rust-Oleum's great and everything, and does a great job if that's what you've got. So that's what I've got. So that's what I'm doing today. But also, I got some new blades, brand new blades. I meant to show you the sharpened blades too, the ones I have, but I'm just going to go ahead and put the new ones on now. And if I have any problems with them, or you know, I bang one up, I'll have a spare hanging up in the garage or in the barn. So. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope that there's something in here that was been interesting, entertaining, or educational. And anyway, I really appreciate you taking time and watching some of these, and you know, the great comments. I'm amazed. You guys are so awesome. I get really good comments all the time, and I really appreciate it. I try to respond to every single one. Questions as well, so feel free to reach out. Continue to enjoy the outdoors, the beauty around you, create things, fix things, and hopefully some of these tips and tricks I give you help. So that's it. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye now.